In 1974, a Japanese film crew set out in search of the Yanomami people, who had only recently come in contact with Western civilization. There are about 13,000 Yanomami living in the upper reaches of the Orinoco River basin on the border between Brazil and Venezuela. In some sections of the river, large boulders and swift currents make navigation hazardous. The canoes must be emptied and guided through the surging rapids. The riverbanks are lined with impenetrable walls of vegetation. Behind this natural barrier are the villages of the Yanomami, each built beside a tributary of the main river. In the most isolated villages like this one, Patanawateri, life has not changed for thousands of years. The Shabono is a large circular canopied lodge that can house between 200 and 300 people. It's the communal living quarters for the entire village. Each family has its designated space and its own fire pit. And since the Yanomami are polygamous, it's not unusual to see several women working, cooking, and eating together around a single campfire. The plantain banana is their staple food. They eat it barbecued or boiled, but their favorite dish is banana soup. The Yanomami clear land for farming by the slash and burn method. They cultivate yams, tapioca, and sweet potatoes. Much of their diet is provided by food foraged from the forests. They harvest only what they need for their own consumption, plus a little extra that they save for gifts to other villages when they want to negotiate an alliance. These cries announce a death, the death of a young boy. Following tradition, his body has been placed atop a funeral pyre in the village square. Cremation, the Yanomami believe, frees the vital essences contained in the bones of the deceased. The family gather around the pyre. The parents and closest relations lament the loudest, while the wails of other friends and relatives are more subdued. As a sign of mourning, the mother's cheekbones are black. Her last gesture of farewell is to exhibit all her son's belongings to those present, and then to toss them on the pyre. The possessions of the dead are gone. They belong to the past. That they ever existed must be forgotten. After the pyre has cooled, the dead boy's bones are retrieved and pulverized. If these were the bones of a warrior, they would now be mixed with banana soup and eaten by the relatives. This extraordinary custom is unique to the Yanomami. They believe the spirit of the dead person can now live at peace within them rather than having to wander endlessly among the evil spirits of the forest. A woman's work is never done. The Yanomami women cook. They make articles needed for the family. They weave. They collect firewood in the jungle. The women also do the fishing. Always in small groups, they fish in nearby streams. Usually protected by warriors because fear of an enemy attack is ever present. The men hunt, but game is rare close to the villages. The hunters often return with nothing more than larvae, frogs, termites, caterpillars, and maybe some fat trapdoor spiders. The sting of this spider is not usually fatal, but it's been known to cause insanity. When under attack, it shakes its legs, losing hairs that sting and cause severe itching. The spider can be safely transported leashed to the tendril of a small creeper. Without delay, the catch of the day is cooked. The poisonous body of the trapdoor spider is discarded. The Yanomami eat only the legs, which they consider a delicacy. Agitated excitement among the villagers doesn't always herald misfortune. Sometimes it signals a happy event, like the birth of a baby. The women dance to the rhythm of their chants. Apart from a bamboo tube producing a single chord, the Yanomami have no musical instruments. The monotonous repetition of the chanting will help this woman in labor overcome her pain. Yanomami families prefer to give birth to boys. Someday they will become warriors and help protect the village. Women who have girls sometimes kill them at their husband's request. If there's a large increase in the female population of the village, baby girls will be systematically slaughtered. Another way to lower the birth rate is to prohibit the couple from having sexual relations for as long as the woman is breastfeeding, usually for 3 years. The birth is imminent. The pain is more persistent and has become stronger. The mother-to-be will remain in her hammock until she feels the moment of birth has arrived. And the women will continue their dancing and chanting until the child is born. It's a girl. Someone smears blood on her lips. This will help her to learn to talk sooner. The new mother is disappointed. But on second thoughts, a girl can become a valuable bargaining asset, especially if she's pretty. She could be offered to a man from an allied village. Such inter-village marriages do more to foster friendship and harmony between the two clans than all the bartering or alliance celebrations can accomplish. It's not unusual for a girl to be promised in marriage even before she's born. Propped up on her grandmother's foot, the new baby is given her first bath. So she won't catch cold, her grandmother first warms the water in her mouth before spraying it over the infant. Though women assisted at this particular birth, having a midwife present is not a hard and fast rule among the Yanomami. Customs vary from village to village. In some villages, no one assists the women in labor. In others, women are not even allowed to give birth in the chalet. Before sunrise the next morning, the women meet at the river to perform a ritual bath intended to cleanse the baby of her impurities and enable her to grow up healthy and beautiful. The village square is the children's favorite playground. Here, the bladder of an anteater has been filled with air to serve as a ball. Adult Yanomami are expected to show physical endurance and a high pain threshold. Training begins at a very early age. The village shaman uses a tapered bamboo stick to pierce the lower lip of the child when he's between 3 and 4 years of age. Later, the hole will be enlarged with a stick the thickness of a pencil. The Yanomami girls also pierce their ears and their nasal septum, adorn themselves with feathers, flowers, sweet-smelling leaves, and cotton or fiber balls. Only when a face is completely decorated is it considered beautiful. On the other hand, their clothing is limited to a braided cotton cord around the waist for both men and women. The women also wear skins of braided cotton across their chest. Adolescent boys wear red G-strings, and young girls wear cotton belts. When they're older, the girls' faces will be pierced with 2 additional holes at the corners of the mouth. The adults have a favorite game, tug of war. A mixed group of men and women is divided into 2 teams. Everyone will try their hardest, but the competition is about pleasure, not about winning. The most significant event in a young girl's life, the badge that marks her passage into adulthood, is her first menstrual cycle. The young girl must be hidden from the sight of men. A small enclosure made from branches of the menstrual leaves tree is built for her in a far corner of the Shabonu. If she remained in the open, in her condition, the men would taunt and tease her. That, the Yanomami women believe, could invoke the evil spirits to wreak horrendous perils on the community. She will remain in isolation for several days and must observe a number of taboos. She must remove all her ornaments. She may drink only water taken through a straw. She can eat only bananas and certain plants. No one is allowed to see her except her mother and a few friends who bring her food and water, but they're forbidden to utter a word to her. During her forced absence, her family is kept busy in the village square making gifts to give her when she finally comes out of her confinement. Cotton has been left in the sun to dry. Cotton is indigenous to the Amazon where it grows wild. The Yanomami collect it in the jungle. Because it takes so much time to gather a usable amount, it's a highly valued commodity. First, the cotton must be spun, which is a long and arduous task, and one a woman can only do in her spare time. These cotton braids become part of a woman's dowry and have many uses. The braids are used to decorate the bosom, arms, and legs. They're also used to weave the finest quality hammocks and are extremely valuable commodities for barter. 3 days have elapsed, and finally, the young girl is free. Her body is washed. Then it's painted with roku, a dye extracted from the red mushroom, and sprinkled with fine clay or black soot. The narrow painted strips meander from her shoulders to her feet. Then her face is adorned with the appropriate finery. Thin strips of tender pale green palm leaves are threaded through her earlobes. The red braided cotton skeins crisscross her breasts and accentuate the contour of her bosom. Cotton braids tightly encircle her arms, wrists, calves, and ankles. A bouquet of palm leaves is fastened on her arms. Bamboo sticks jabbed into her lower lip at the corners of her mouth and into the nasal septum add the finishing touches to her ensemble. Radiating with joy and sensuality, the young girl is now officially a woman.